Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 7. Wow, this season has been so cinematic so far. Yeah, welcome to the Culling games. And it's happening everywhere. All neighborhoods. What exactly are we looking at right now? Right, I can't force you the first time. Sort of an illusion of choice here. Here, first read this manual. Just get it out of the way. It'll only take 23 minutes. Then you can enjoy it. You can enjoy your experience in the Culling games. That's a crazy place to be. A lot of crazy stuff happens there. Don't take this guy's hand. Interesting that he's so caring seeming. Yeah, some people are itching to go. I haven't seen a worse hand grabbing since Shigaraki All for One. Whoa, this is crazy. I'm guessing that's Yuji. You are friends with Yuji? And now here we are. This is sort of the waiting lobby. Maybe. This has got to be so disorienting, so crazy. Wait, are these the two people from the beginning? Thank you for being friends with Yuji. Please send regards from his mother. I don't really remember what happened to her. Maybe what we just saw is what a lot of people experienced. That was their transition to the game. Seeing the real people here confused and huddled around, this is just insanity. It's so cool. There's just nothing. Alarm. That's my review as an occult member. Okay, right. He visited everyone. How did you know that? Episode 54, Tokyo number 1 Colony Part 1. Damn, it's finally happening. I sort of can't believe it. The anticipation is unreal. This is where reading the instructions will pay off, and like our other side quests that were super relevant, like killing off major characters, recruiting delinquents, and genociding our entire bloodline. But we did get Panda, so let's call it a win. Yeah, it's big news. How did you not know this? Okay, now we're all on the same team. Yeah, it's awful. It happened so abruptly, for nothing. No reason. Itadori hurting right now, in many ways. It doesn't. It makes it worse. Even more reason to hate the higher-ups. Yet another reason why all of this rebellion against the existing status quo is justified. You're forgetting your girlfriend. You just miss a lot of pain, yeah. He is, amazingly. I think it's sort of old thinking, ironically. I don't know if any of the pre-existing structure is relevant anymore, after what we've seen, and after the Culling games. Now that we want something. Right. Oh, that hasn't happened yet, I see. It's out of order. Right, we saw this, right? I feel like that'll speed things up, maybe. How? Yeah, I'm waiting to hear this. I see. Okay. People already have the power to do that without killing. Use other people who can make rules. Okay, interesting. Okay, it'll keep it alive. It's a loophole. Wow, that would be a big one. I also love that they're approaching this with the strategy of not just playing the game that's laid out in front of them. This is perhaps overthinking it, but this is very Jujutsu Kaisen this season, but also as a whole, I would say, in that we are trying to reject the frame which has become corrupted by status quoism and mediocrity, which maybe isn't to say that things should be one way or the other. I think we are trying to figure that out. Yuji's trying to figure that out. There are always a lot of complex things to consider. And just when you think you found a simple answer, it turns out there's complications or there's a dangerous road that leads to. But it is to say, whatever road we're choosing, we have to choose it fully and I guess consciously, resolutely. It has to be fully realized and well integrated, well discovered. We're not doing anything because some weird old dudes in a poorly lit house told us to for their own vanity or material gain or whatever. There is something I think also symbolic about the fact that they have to play the game. They can't just ignore the game. But the point is to play and win it in a way that is also aligned with something more than the game, which is their values and what they care about, which is a nice metaphor. In that context, perhaps no accident that Hikari is introduced as an incomplete pivot from that, where it's just total rejection for rejection. It's sort of the more cynical, nihilistic takedown of the thing. Whereas with Yuji, we're kind of swinging around but trying to find the center, which right now is duty. Duty to something higher that I think is not yet fully articulated. Which, amazingly enough, also may be very relevant to Fight Club. Tyler Durden in Fight Club is so appealing, but he also is a villain. Because it turns out it is very easy and it is very inspiring to tear things down. There's this assumption that when you build back up, or when we replace this system with my system, everything will be much better and fairer, etc. But that's a huge if, and sometimes there's no plan at all, or those assumptions rest on the misunderstanding of all the challenges that the existing system was subjected to and was largely a solve for, if in an imperfect way. Tyler tries to burn everything to the ground so that it can emerge renewed, but what that thing is, if it's really better, if it's not totally worse, if it's worth the costs, all open to great debate and speculation. Cynicism about a thing in itself is not an answer or solution to a thing. It is probably at best a necessary starting point as a critique. There's so much happening at the same time. Still. Wow. Exciting. Super exciting. Wow. Though I don't love splitting up, but okay. This camera. I mean, that's a good role for her. She doesn't seem like the best fighter, but is amazing at survival and defense. Like, unparalleled. No one's gonna figure that out. Megumi is the only one in the world who could figure that out on the fly, honestly. Maybe if, like, they sat down and thought about it for weeks, they could put it together, but that was such bad luck for her. Why? But you're such a great team. I see. These worries. There is something selfish about that. Panda needs to settle this right now. There you go. Panda settled it. It looks awesome. It's so simple but so cool. Wow, they're just ready to go. No doubt at all. No second guessing. I love it. Oh, she's coming for you. Because you got way too uppity. What the hell is that? I love their bravado, but I feel like they may be underestimating a little bit. This is not a game. We don't know what's gonna pop up. They're not subject to our modern sensibilities. Damn, this boundary though. Yo, it is very Hunter x Hunter, right? The card game, in a way. No, we did that already, thanks. We've done that extensively. You'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like another information session. You'd like another tutorial. That's it, I'm fully gonna forget, like, all the rules. Key moments. Oh no, it's random. It's like that game, or one of those games. You spawn randomly, from the sky no less. That's messed up. That's really messed up. I guess it's not a rule, but a feature. Yeah, they're camping out. They're camping by spawn points. That's dark, man. You can't say it's cheating, right? But wow. Yeah, we were underestimating. Been through much worse. This is damn true. I like how he's rammed in the air by her skull, and as he's flying through the air, he's trying to kick at her. Just the will in that response. We're finally in the game, man. It's insane. Nice shot. Nothing she didn't deserve. You have? Oh, you went to the same school too? I guess it's this region, this district? I don't believe you. It's not fair either. It's cheating. Yeah, that was unexpected. Usually really fighting an aerial battle. How did they not find him? How did Due not find him? Whoa, that's crazy. That's real speed and poise. Maybe we can get real low. It's not the quirk I would choose, you know? Good idea. Yeah, real low and inside. Oh, he doesn't care. He's just coming in. Oh no, this backfired horribly. Yeah, we put ourselves into a little blender. Wow, right in the middle. I think we just got points, like by accident. That guy's dead. Okay, yeah, we've done this before. This technique. Actually, wait, am I thinking about Chainsaw Man? These two universes could be connected, honestly.
私のお願いも聞いてほしいな。
言ってみろ。
Everybody always asking for stuff.
私のナイトになって。
わかった。それでいい。
Okay, sure. Just call me Subaru.
ナイトって命がけで私を守んのよ。
お前の言ってることが本当ならな。
What? That's how we got a girlfriend? How I Met Your Mother in the Culling game.
レミって呼んで。
Remy.
久し
Okay.
ぶり。覚えてるか？
Not really, to be honest.
お前は有名人だから。西中の虎。
Super
同
athlete.
じ地元の方でしたか。
Split ahead. It's a sign, literally.
私そんなに時代遅れに見え
Oh, are
る。
you super old?
私だってやりたくてやってんじゃないの。
I don't buy
や
it.
らなきゃやられるの。
This is true, but I also don't buy it.
戦う理由を
Split
探す
ahead.
間に殺される。12日もいればそれくらいわかるわ。
This will show you who you really are, right? For sure. A lot of moralizing will vanish in this situation. Everyone is a gangster until they join the Culling game. This much is true. But that's average, and we're seeking something exceptional. 12 days is a long time. Like, in this scenario, in a very heightened situation of danger, 12 days is an eternity. That just transforms your entire life.
その過程で力に溺れてくやつも見たわ。
Yeah, some people would love it too.
過去の術師に触発されて、現代の術師も戦闘モードってわけか。虎杖に余計なこと言っちまったな。
Yeah, 12 days. I mean, we just got here.
俺はただのパシリだよ。
I don't trust this
その
guy.
うち殺されて
Don't
たさ。
let him turn the corner before you. They both turn corners.
まあいいわ。
Split path, split path.
火車は
火車は池袋
新宿
にいる。
にいる。
Uh-oh, that's terrible. That's not good. We're going separate ways. Why would they lie? This is like that logic puzzle of you come to a fork in the road and there's two trees, I think. One who always lies and one who tells the truth. What's the one question you can ask both of them that will reveal the correct path? Actually, maybe that's what this is. I mean, it's literally showing the split path thing. Outside of that, it's such a cool moment. It's terrifying that they could be going into the heart of the city, which would be a dominant strategy if you were strong enough, if you could risk it. Away from each other, just alone. These are not high-ranking people, right? But we're already kind of struggling with it. Our normal sensibilities are getting in the way. Actually, I think that is a very interesting element of the struggle of like, how do you keep your humanity in this when you're about to see the worst of humanity? Like Shibuya incident, it was the worst of curses, right? A lot of the incidents of the past have been. A lot of the tragedy came from people like Mihiro. But this time, though it's no fault of their own, a lot of the evil is going to come from just people participating in the game. Which, I mean, the more I see it, the more I think there is something there actually. Because there is a lot of commentary in this story about the system and the society versus the individual. People haven't really thought these things through, don't really have a higher calling, don't have a higher attachment to values that are just sort of in it for whatever the default is. They're just going to play the game in the way the game was designed, which is terrible. And they're going to make it so much worse. And in this case, it happens to be exactly by design. You know, it's that very thing that it relies on, that sort of panic. I actually been thinking about something sort of related with this because I stay on top of current events and I listen to and read opinion articles. And there are so many things, so many opinions that come out that are just really gripping, right? Like just cut to the emotion of the moment. And this is happening in multiple directions. First of all, people have realized that emotion is the catalyst to drive motion. And so even for something as minor as financial reasons, people will just sort of like iterate until they find the most emotional thing till it lands at a mass scale and they can profit with no regard to the fact that these things that have real consequences. If people are gripped by emotion, gripped by fear, or gripped by uncertainty about their own safety and stability, etc., you will make a lot of money, but you know, at what cost? But then also, more organically, it is often the things that are not fully settled yet, things that are on the precipice, things that are in discovery, things that seem on the verge of happening, you know, all these unknown that are naturally the most existentially threatening. And so recently I've been feeling somewhat torn because there's just like a lot of unknowns right now. There's a lot of things that seem to be on the precipice. And there's a little bit of a decision to be made because I recognize that by engaging with these things, I'm more stressed. I feel a little bit more heated or angry. And then on the other side, there's just ignoring it completely, right? Like just focusing on your own life and things you know. And I think that probably is good advice, or at least I think it's not good advice to just get angry and to be so wrapped up in things you're not influencing at all while neglecting the things in your life that actually are important for you and your loved ones. But of course, you don't want to be blind to the happenings of the world, right? So how do you balance these two things? And I don't have a full answer to this. In fact, it might just be one of those always looking for a balance between two conflicting forces type of things. But I did realize that a lot of things I were consuming have a way of acting like it's adding information when actually nothing really new is being added towards breaching that unknown. And instead, it's just injecting the emotion of it. The thing that made me think of this was an article I saw being constantly retweeted about how like you're not scared enough about AI and how AI will eliminate your job. It's worse than you thought. I'm a software engineer. I work with AI. I'm way ahead of you. I know where this is going. It's going really terribly. You need to get ahead of this now. Everyone is being pushed off the cliff and you need to work hard to be at the back of of the lines, you're pushed off last, it's gonna get really good. It's gonna start to do the things you think it can't do. You're not scared enough of where this is going. And I got hit with it. I'm like, man, maybe I have been underestimating AI. Maybe I do need to be more concerned. But then, you know, reflecting on it, I'm thinking, well, this actually didn't add anything informationally to this issue. The fear of AI taking people's jobs, transforming the world, creating disruption is not new at all. I mean, I don't think anyone who's been following it in any capacity at all would be surprised by that concept. What the article was adding was fear, where it's basically saying, as afraid as you are now, you should be more afraid, which actually is probably not a useful contribution. In fact, it's not really a contribution at all, because the fear won't do anything. What would actually probably be more productive is more information, more accurate, truthful, real, non-speculative understanding of what's going on and what will happen. And sometimes that's just not possible. And that's very uncomfortable. And so emotion will fill that void. But one thing I decided independently of this was that I want to be my own filter for hysteria. Like, not to say I can't get hysterical, not to say I can't get emotional or anxious, but I would like to be the final arbiter of what that is. I don't want to be pushed into it by someone trying to force feed me the way I should feel. I think there's a way to do that while also not being dishonest or being oblivious to the world. They're just different domains. You know, there's the domain of fact and there's the domain of feeling. There's the known and the unknown, and they all deserve their own proper consideration, but it gets a little bit weird when they start being confused and conflated. Almost every single interest that exists would like us to be emotional about that issue. And there's so many surefire ways to do that. One of them is to think your life is in danger. Your family's life is in danger. This is an existential threat to you. Everybody would have you believe that. And some of that maybe is true, but the emotion does not make it true. The fueling of the fire does not make it true. How did I get here? What was my connection to Jujutsu Kaisen? There's a never-ending stream of emotion coming out. It almost seems like there's been a barrier broken and we now transact information through emotion as opposed to just data and logic. There's just so much name calling, doomsday thinking, extremism. It almost seems like it ends up being about winning as opposed to anything higher. Like, what's the higher value? What's the anchoring? What's the point? To win for what? And in that way, I feel like this thing ends up being very relevant and very potent, very exciting. Because yeah, like, this is an apocalyptic event. This stuff's gonna come out. And it's not just strength. Strength isn't gonna be enough. You can win this game and lose something much, much greater. And so how do you enter the game, not ignore the game, but enter the game and win the game while remembering the higher thing, the more important thing, and not letting the game play you, as is likely gonna be the case for a lot of the contestants. And I think is the case also in real life.